There are really about 6 reasons that I have identified that the United States should continue to maintain a presence in North and East Syria with military forces on the ground, as well as the support of the United States State Department. The first reason is here in Syria, American forces worked with the Syrian Democratic Forces in 2014 and 2015 to liberate Kobani. And then on March 23rd, 2019, American forces helped the SDF defeat ISIS at the Battle of Baghouz. So American forces should stay here to preserve the victory. This is a victory that happened under President Trump's first administration, and President Trump is all about victories and defeating ISIS, and he needs to keep troops in North and East Syria to prevent ISIS from coming back. And of course, there are 10,000 ISIS detainees who are being held by Syrian Democratic Forces, and the United States is providing over $130 million in financial assistance to the Syrian Democratic Forces to ensure that these ISIS terrorists are never freed and can never harm people in this region or around the world. Continuing on the detainees, there are detainees from ISIS from more than 50 nations. There are more than 2,000 foreign fighters who are here in prisons in North and East Syria. The United States is the only nation strong enough to encourage other foreign countries to take their fighters back for prosecution or other decisions related to those foreign terrorist fighters. Let me go into my second reason. This is the America's golden era. The American economy is booming, and part of the reason for America's economic growth under President Trump is because he is willing to make bold decisions and send businesses to invest around the world. Here in Northeast Syria, not too far from where we are, there's oil production sites. But the oil production here is not highly sophisticated and technical. But we do know that there's oil underneath the ground, and strong American companies can come here and make investments to produce more oil for exporting. And when there's more oil coming out of the ground, there can be more economic riches for all the people of Syria. And here in the Northeast, there's an opportunity to hire local employees for those oil companies. Just across the border in Iraq's Kurdistan region, we have American oil companies that are producing more than 100,000 barrels of oil every day. It is because they're using sophisticated technology and the best techniques to get the oil out of the ground and processed and shipped out either on trucks or through a pipeline. So to keep America's economic growth strong, America should invest in the oil here in Northeast Syria, and because American military troops are already here and we have helped provide security for this region, America should be investing in oil here and we should have first access. We know that President al-Shara in Damascus is strongly interested in having economic growth in his country, and we believe that there will be American companies soon working in the oil sector to improve the productivity and also provide opportunity for employment. The third reason to continue the American troops in Northeast Syria is because this is an opportunity for American military special operations forces to maintain their proficiency. There have been raids in recent days where the American commandos are working with the Yekenean anti-terror and has an anti-terror to go after ISIS. This is the only place in the world where Americans have these type of military operations, and we have less than 2,000 troops in Syria. There's not that many troops here. Let me give you a comparison. In 2006 in Iraq, there were about 180,000 American troops. So you see 2,000 is a much smaller number. It's much more economical than having hundreds of thousands of troops here. And our troops are only here to partner with, advise, and assist the Syrian Democratic Forces. The U.S. forces do not hold any land. There are no big U.S. bases here. The presence is temporary but important to ensure that ISIS defeat remains. Another thing, America can provide a helpful encouragement to all parties in Syria, from northeast to northwest in Idlib, and of course with the new central government in Damascus, as this country is beginning to develop its constitution and beginning to develop democracy. America promotes democracy, and America wants there to be a strong and stable government in Syria, because when you have a strong, stable government, this will reduce the opportunities for terrorists and other illicit activities. So America needs to continue to guide and encourage President al-Shara, as well as leaders in North and East Syria, and the other groups, including Alawites and Druze, to work together. Continuing along that vein, another reason that American troops should stay in Northeast Syria, reason number 4, is because North and East Syria is similar to the United States in a couple of ways. One, here in the north and east of Syria, women are respected, included, and encouraged to have full participation in society. We see women who are leaders in politics, leaders in the military, and some women are beginning to work in businesses, having small shops and important roles in some of the larger companies here. Also, there's religious plurality. Just outside here in the streets of Qamishlo and in Hasaka, where I was recently, you'll see a mosque on one street and a Christian church on another street. And that leads me into reason number 5. There are Christian minorities here in cities like Tal Tamer and Derik, and we want to ensure that the Christians are protected. Christians and other religious minorities, including Druze, other different sects of people, including Alawites, Turkmen, and all of the people of Syria should be protected by the central government and have an opportunity to worship in the way that they choose. And this is how things operate in America. We are land of the free and home of the brave. Syria has a similar type of approach, and in the northeast of Syria, you can see an example of how people here have been able to live and worship and raise their family in the manner that is best for them. And another important reason is the geographic location. American troops staying in northeast Syria is important for where Syria fits geographically. To the north, there's Turkey. To the east, we have Iraq, and to the south and southwest, there is Jordan. And by having American troops here and at Tanaf garrison, this helps prevent terrorist fighters from going across the borders. The presence of America discourages Syria's northern neighbor from attacking and disrupting the life of people in this area. And of course, having forces in Syria was important to stopping Iranian-backed Hezbollah militias from coming through Iraq and through southern Syria and into Lebanon and threatening Israel. This is really important. So for all of those reasons, the United States should continue its presence here in Syria. And I think one of the things that we will see is that the final reason is that America will be able to provide additional financial assistance during this time that Damascus is not financially able to provide services and security for all people of Syria. So for the relatively low investment of around $150 million a year and about 2,000 troops, America is really helping Damascus with its goals. Damascus does not need to worry about security in the northeast. This is a stable area. It needs economic stimulation, but there are not major security issues because of the cooperation between American military forces and the SDF. Currently, Damascus is not capable of funding operations at the ISIS prisons or Al-Hol camp or Al-Roj camp, so America is providing critical financial assistance. And we will see soon that the Syrian Democratic Forces will become part of the Syrian Ministry of Defense. And it is likely that the Syrian Democratic Forces will become what we would call a regional command. You already have troops here from the SDF and the Asaish, and it is likely that they will be part of the coordination of the Syrian Ministry of Defense and Ministry of Interior. The United States has led the way to make these conditions possible for the liberation of Syria from the Assad regime, and the United States will continue to play an important role of bringing all people together in cooperation for the benefit of all Syrians, but also the benefit of America's security interest and America's economic interest. If there's any